As the year draw to a close, I've been reflecting deeply on the individuals who have shaped my journey, starting with my parents, teachers, and mentors. For the first time, I truly meditated on how pivotal and destiny defining it is to have such people in our lives. Their impact is a gift I can never fully repay, but I believe the best way to honor them is by becoming that guiding light for others, especially for young people, helping them to grow into tomorrow's good citizens and change agents. Welcome to the Impact Plaza Network. I am Adam. At the Impact Plaza Network, we aim to provide you, the youth community, parents with school-age children, with keys that set you up for success. Today, I want to encourage you, whether you are a parent, an uncle, an aunt, a brother, a sister, or simply a person of goodwill, to invest in the life of a young boy, a young girl, or any young person who feels lost or burdened by life's challenges. Your care and guidance can help them realize their God-given destiny. Let this be part of your New Year's resolution to mentor, inspire, and uplift someone who needs it most. I would like to share a series of success stories from the book A Hand to Guide Me by Denzel Washington with Daniel Pesner. These stories showcase how relatives or strangers who offered their guidance became life-changing mentors. I hope these stories inspire you to make a difference. I hope you'll be inspired to add value to someone or to serve someone. Now, here is the book, A Hand to Guide Me by Denzel Washington. Starting with Denzel Washington himself, he wrote, "We are all destined to leave some kind of mark. I really believe that. We're all meant to walk a certain path at a certain time, in a certain direction, for a certain purpose. I believe that too, but I also believe we miss our marks from time to time, and without a certain push in the right direction, we might never find the path we were meant to follow." This book is about that certain push, that helping hand we've all had to reach for in order to get where we're going. Train up a child the way he should go, and he might get to where he's meant to be headed all along. After all, you don't get to the top of your game or the top of your field or the top of your charts entirely on your own. And I want to celebrate the good people who have helped us get where we're going. Now, talking about the Boys Club of America, he said, "In my neighborhood, the Boys Club was the center of everything. It was my whole world, just about from the time I was 6 years old. It was where I learned how to play ball, where I learned how to focus and set my mind on a goal, where I learned about consequences, where I learned how to be a man. And at the heart of it all was a powerful force of nature named Billy Thomas. He pretty much ran the place. And let me tell you, he was a local treasure. Billy helped a lot of kids because he took interest. He cared. I'd catch myself trying to work like Billy, trying to shoot a foul shot like Billy, trying to carry myself like Billy, trying to treat other people with the same respect and dignity he might offer. Even his handwriting was fascinating to me. He was an artist, and you could see it in the way he signed his name. There was a real flourish to it, and to this day, I look at my signature and think back to how I used to copy Billy Thomas. It is in the way I sign my name. It is in the way I write a letter. It is in most everything I do." Now, another powerful story is that of former President Jimmy Carter, who passed away today at the time of this recording. He was a very powerful man, decent man, an everyday man. He wrote, "There was a woman who lived on our farm when I was a boy. Her name was Rachel Clark, and she took me under her wing. She was married to a man named Jack Clark, who was in charge of our barn and our moles and our livestock on the farm. Jack did all the hard work that we boy most admired, but it was Rachel who shone. She had the aura of a queen. She was light tan in color and small in stature, but everyone in town, black and white, knew that somehow or other Rachel was an exalted person. When my mother and father would go off on a vacation, or sometimes when my mother, who was a registered nurse, had to work a long shift at the hospital, in planes or 24 hours in private homes, I would spend the night in Rachel's house. I slept on the floor on a pallet, and during the winter, Rachel would let me drag the pallet near the fireplace. I remember those nights, but mostly I remember those days working at Rachel's side, trying to match her every move. The next story is that of former President Bill Clinton. Talking about the people he grew up with and around, he wrote, "My family likes to joke that none of us are perfect, but we all stickers. My mother was like that too. I was taught that no matter what happened, you just get up, go on, and hang on. I was really blessed to have Buddy, who is one of his uncle, and my grandmother, and a number of other people who took an interest in me when I was young. I've often wondered how many people were out there scrapping out a living on those farms who would have been doctors or scientists, or Lord only knows what if they'd had half the chances I had. But they were rich with good hearts, open minds, and a desire to teach and learn. So I learned the importance of respecting all people and not making judgments about them based on their income or their position in life, or what kind of clothes they wore, or what degree they had hanging on the wall, or what the color of their skin was. I really believe one of the principal reasons I became president is that in my childhood, I learned to keep my eyes and ears open to soak everything in before judging a person, a situation, or a complex issue." This next story is that of Jackie Joyner-Kersee, a retired U.S. track and field runner, four-time gold medalist with many other accolades. She wrote, "A lot of folks have had a hand in my success. Nobody gets to where they want to be without a little help along the way, and that is how it has been with me. It started with my brother, Al. We are always very close growing up. He was 2 years older, and he always looked out for me. We lived in East St. Louis, and I guess it was pretty tough. At the time, we didn't think it was so bad. It was the environment we live in, what we saw every day. But once you leave and your eyes open up to all these other things, you realize, wow, you are lucky you made it out of there." He put up a basketball goal for me in our backyard. When my mother went to work, he was the babysitter. Wherever he had to go, we had to go with him, whether we wanted to or not. Last but not least, this last story is that of the late General Colin Powell. He wrote, "So many people intersected in my life as a child. They created almost a tribal framework that kept me in play. I had an extended network of aunts, uncles, and cousins, and we all lived in the same neighborhood. Everybody was considered an aunt, whether they were a real aunt or not. You couldn't get into trouble without getting caught by this network of aunts and uncles and cousins, and when you were caught, the speed of the aunt net brought it to your parent for retribution before you even made it home. It worked. There isn't a failure among the cousins. Very few divorces. Nobody went to jail. Nobody was a drug dealer. Nobody failed to become something. There is an old African proverb that says, 'It takes a village to raise a child.' My experience has been an extension of that. I say, it takes a tribe to raise a child. You have to have people who are interacting with each other to raise a child, people who are connected to that child." He continued, "You never know who is going to touch your life or how. The important message to our children is that they are being mentored every day by somebody, a teacher, a neighbor. Look all around and you'll see people who are living good lives, who are making a difference, maybe not in the world but in their family, in their community. Many such uplifting stories you will find in this book. Very few were told and shared. I encourage you to get this book if possible. Also, share it with someone. You will be blessing a lot of people just by doing that. Before we wrap up today, I want to share with you the good news. Whether you've been following us for a while or you are new here, our mission is to partner with youth and parents to support success in all areas of life through keys and biblically based principles reflecting the fullness of Christ. But we believe it all starts with knowing who Jesus is and giving your life to Him. The Bible tells us in John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son, that whoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have eternal life." If you are not sure who this Jesus is or what this means, we'd be happy to explain more. Just scan the QR code on the screen. Happy New Year, and until next time, stay blessed, keep striving for greatness, and go impact your world.